Peppa Pig and the Day of Giving Thanks. Peppa Pig and her brother George love going for walks with Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig. Today they are out among the trees and flowers and bugs and birds. Peppa is happy and thankful to be in this beautiful place.
Wow!
For Peppa and her family, it is a day for giving thanks.
I love the blue sky,
says Peppa.
Thank you, sky. I love the clouds floating in the sky,
she says.
They make pretty shapes. Thank you, clouds.
Peppa and George look for more things to thank on their walk. So does Daddy Pig. He looks up at a tall tree. Thank you, tree, he says. Peppa sees her favourite fruit.
Thank you, apples,
says Peppa.
It's nice to see you, turtle.
Peppa is thankful for the frogs, the fish, and especially the ducks. Look, George, says Mummy Pig, butterflies. George flaps his arms, just like the butterflies. George points.
Oh,
says Peppa. Then she says,
thank you, spider.
Ah! Cries Daddy Pig. He runs. He does not say thank you to the spider. There are so many things to be thankful for.
Hooray!
The flowers help the bees, says Mummy Pig.
And the bees give us honey,
says Peppa.
I love honey.
There are so many colourful leaves and pumpkins.
So pretty,
says Peppa. Peppa and George play in the leaves. Peppa feels something. Oh no! Rain, says Mummy Pig. Peppa doesn't want to get wet. She is not thankful for the rain.
Oh no!
Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, Peppa and George wait under the trees. The water pours down. The ducks don't mind the rain at all. When the rain stops, they move on. But Peppa doesn't see the birds or butterflies or even the ducks. And the sky isn't blue. Where are the frogs and the turtles? Then, just ahead, Peppa sees something. She smiles.
Look!
The rain left a surprise for Peppa and George.
Thank you for the muddy puddle.
The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa visits the aquarium. This is Peppa's pet fish, Goldie.
Wow!
Every morning, Peppa gives Goldie breakfast.
Time to eat,
she says. Oh dear, Goldie is not eating.
What is wrong with Goldie?
Peppa asks.
She looks a bit sad,
says Mummy Pig.
Oh no!
I think she is lonely,
says Peppa.
She doesn't have any fish friends.
Maybe Goldie could visit the aquarium, says Daddy Pig.
What's an aquarium?
Peppa asks. It is a place with lots of fish, says Daddy Pig.
Oh, goody,
cries Peppa.
We can find a friend for Goldie there. Let's go.
Hooray!
Peppa and her family drive to the aquarium. Miss Rabbit sells them tickets. The fish can go in for free, she says. Enjoy your visit. The first room has many little fish. Could one of these fish be Goldie's new friend? Asked Daddy Pig.
No, says Peppa. They are too small.
Peppa's friend, Candy Cat, is in the next room with her family.
Hello, Candy, says Peppa. We are finding a friend for Goldie.
The fish in this room look like little dinosaurs.
Dinosaur.
Says George. These aren't dinosaurs,
Meow.
says Candy. They are called seahorses.
Wow.
Could a seahorse be Goldie's friend?
Meow.
Candy asks.
No, says Peppa. They are too dinosaur-y.
Everyone goes to the next room. The tank in here has a very strange fish. Wow, says Daddy Pig. This fish looks like a big eye. It is a big eye on a very big fish.
Maybe this one could be Goldie's new friend,
says Mummy Pig.
No, says Peppa. It is too big.
There is only one room left to visit. But there are no fish in this tank. There's only green slime. Oh, and Miss Rabbit is in the tank too. She is cleaning it. The last stop is the cafe.
We did not find a friend for Goldie,
Peppa says sadly. Then Peppa notices a bowl on the counter.
What is that?
Peppa asks.
That is my pet goldfish, Ginger,
says Miss Rabbit. Goldie likes Ginger. Ginger likes Goldie.
Goldie can visit Ginger any time she wants,
says Miss Rabbit.
Hooray!
Goldie has made a friend at the aquarium after all. The end. Peppa loves doctors and nurses. It was people who help us today at playgroup, and everyone was excited. Now, children, began Madame Gazelle, today we have two very special visitors. They are both people who help us.
Is one the Queen?
Asked Peppa.
Is one my auntie?
Asked Rebecca Rabbit.
Dinosaur, roar!
Asked George. Three wonderful guesses, said Madame Gazelle. But the people coming to see us today are Dr. Brown Bear and Nurse Fox.
Hooray!
Cheered the children, jumping up and down. They loved Dr. Brown Bear and Nurse Fox.
When I hurt my leg, I had to go to hospital, said Pedro Pony. Dr. Brown Bear and Nurse Fox looked after me. When I was feeling poorly, said Peppa, Dr. Brown Bear made me feel all better.
Just then there was a noise from outside. The children ran to the window to look.
Madame Gazelle, it's Dr. Brown Bear and Nurse Fox.
Good morning, everyone, said Dr. Brown Bear. Today, Nurse Fox and I are going to talk to you about keeping fit and staying healthy. Let's start by going over to the playground and getting our bodies moving.
Yippee!
Cheered the children. They loved moving around outside. Dr. Brown Bear and Nurse Fox had built an obstacle course. To keep fit and healthy, we must move our bodies every day, said Dr. Brown Bear. Madame Gazelle will show us all how it's done. The children watched in amazement as Madame Gazelle completed the obstacle course perfectly. Ta-da! She cried.
Now it is your turn, children, said Dr. Brown Bear. Ready, steady, go! Peppa and her friends set off. They swung, crawled, hopped, slid, skipped, and jumped around. This is so much fun, isn't it, Susie? Cheered Peppa, but as she turned to Susie Sheep, Peppa forgot to look where she was going and fell on her bottom. Oops! Cried Peppa. Nurse Fox came straight over. Are you all right? She asked. I think so, said Peppa. Good, said Nurse Fox, checking that Peppa was not hurt. You can carry on now, Peppa, but please be careful. Thank you for helping me, said Peppa. Peppa loves the obstacle course. This is my favourite bit, she cried, jumping high and landing in a big muddy puddle. I'm not sure that's part of the course, Peppa, said Madame Gazelle, smiling. Snack time, called Nurse Fox. Hooray! Cheered the children. Don't forget to wash your hands before you eat, said Nurse Fox. All the children went to wash their hands. Peppa and Rebecca sang the Wash Your Hands song. Wash, wash, wash our hands, wash them nice and clean. Bubbly, scrubbly, scrubbly, bubbly, wash them nice and clean. Eating healthy food helps us to stay fit and strong, said Dr. Brown Bear as he tried to open his snack box. This seems to be stuck. Nurse Fox, could you help me, please? Nurse Fox came over and opened the box easily. Nurse Fox, gasped Peppa, you must eat lots of healthy food to be that strong. Everyone laughed. Peppa and her friends loved snack time. Yummy, they cried. Keeping fit and strong was delicious. You've done such a good job today, children, said Dr. Brown Bear. When they finished, I'm going to give you all a sticker. Hooray! Cheered the children. They loved stickers too. Madame Gazelle brought out the dressing up box. It's time for you to be the doctors and nurses now, children, she said. Peppa and her friends had lots of fun dressing up. Dr. Brown Bear, said Peppa the doctor, you must keep fit and stay healthy too. Of course, he replied. The children took Dr. Brown Bear outside and told him to go around and around the obstacle course. One more time, cried Peppa the doctor. Okay, how's this? Gasped Dr. Brown Bear. When he was allowed to stop, he looked quite tired. Dr. Brown Bear doesn't look very well, said Peppa the doctor. I think he needs a plaster. And bandages, added Nurse Danny Dog. And more bandages, added Nurse Susie. Now he needs a sticker, said Peppa the doctor. All the little doctors and nurses covered Dr. Brown Bear in stickers. Thank you for being so helpful, said Dr. Brown Bear. He was covered in so many bandages he couldn't move. What a patient he was. What do we say to our visitors? Asked Madame Gazelle. Thank you, Dr. Brown Bear. Thank you, Nurse Fox, cheered the children, giving them a big clap. Clap, clap, clap. Peppa loves doctors and nurses. Everyone loves doctors and nurses. The end.
Peppa Pig. Flip, flap, Peppa. Peppa loves dressing up.
Wow.
Who will she be today? Peppa is a daring explorer. She's hunting high and low. I'm ready for adventure. Looking for things to discover. Peppa is a grown-up lady. She's going out to the shops, smelling of Mummy Pig's perfume.
Wow.
Look at my lovely shoes. Peppa is a brave firefighter. She's ready for an emergency, wearing yellow waterproofs. Everything is under control.
Hooray!
Peppa is a caring nurse. She's always ready to help with her first aid kit.
Hooray!
I'll make you better, George. Peppa is a flying superhero. She's disguised in a shadowy mask, wearing a magic super cape. I will save the day. Peppa is a fairy tale princess. She lives in a royal palace with her little pet mouse. Let's ride in our carriage, Sir George. Peppa is a clever scientist. She wants to zoom into space in her powerful rocket. I love looking at the stars. Peppa is a hungry tiger. She's prowling through the jungle with her animal friends. Peppa is a seafaring pirate. She's about to sail the ocean blue, looking for some treasure. Ahoy there, me hearties! Peppa is a magic witch. She can fly through the starry skies on her magical broom. I'll turn you into a frog. The end. Peppa Pig, happy birthday. It is Mummy Pig's birthday, and Peppa and George have made her a yummy cake. Why don't we practice singing happy birthday? Asked Daddy Pig. Peppa and George are excited. George is so excited he blows the candles out. Don't worry, George, says Peppa. Daddy can light them again. Once the candles are lit, Peppa starts singing Happy Birthday with a little help from George. At the end of the song, Peppa gets so excited she blows the candles out. Oops, says Peppa, giggling. Daddy, can you light them again, please? Let's take the cake to Mummy, says Peppa, when the candles are lit. But just then a breeze comes through the window and blows the candles out. Oh no, cries Peppa. Not again. Don't worry, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. I'll light them one last time. Peppa, George and Daddy Pig tiptoe towards the living room with the cake. We're coming, Mummy, Peppa shouts loudly. Shh, shushes Daddy Pig. Let's surprise her. But his shushing blows the candles out. Oh, Daddy, says Peppa. Now you have to light them again. Finally, Peppa and George give Mummy Pig her cake. Happy birthday, dear Mummy. Happy birthday to you. Mummy Pig tries to blow the candles out. But she can't. We can help, says Peppa, taking a deep breath.
Hooray! Wow,
Says Mummy Pig.
I'm the luckiest mummy in the whole world.
The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa and George's Garden. Daddy Pig is sitting in his favourite sunny spot, reading a newspaper. What a perfect day for doing nothing, says Daddy Pig. The only thing that could make it better would be a cup of tea. He goes inside the house to make one. Grandpa Pig has come to see Peppa and George. You're going to have your very own flower garden, he tells them. Peppa and George are very excited. We need a nice sunny spot to plant your seeds, says Grandpa Pig. Grandpa Pig finds the perfect sunny spot and starts to dig Peppa and George's garden. When the garden is ready, Peppa and George will plant their seeds.
Hooray!
Oh, gasped Daddy Pig. What's going on?
We're making a flower garden,
Says Peppa. But that's where I sit in my chair and read my newspaper, cries Daddy Pig.
Flowers are more important than chairs and newspapers,
Says Peppa. It is time to plant the seeds.
Look, Daddy,
Cries Peppa.
Wow!
Peppa has lots of flower seeds. George only has one flower seed, but it is a big one. Some birds have come to see what Peppa and George are doing. They start to eat the seeds.
Shoo, shoo,
Calls Peppa.
leave our flower garden alone.
Daddy Pig gets some water to help the seeds grow. As soon as they see Daddy Pig, the birds fly away.
Daddy scared the birds.
Cheers Peppa. Grandpa Pig laughs.
Daddy Pig looks like a scarecrow.
Peppa, George, bath time, calls Mummy Pig.
But what if the birds come back?
Asks Peppa. Don't worry, Peppa. I'll make sure the birds don't eat the seeds, says Daddy Pig. The birds come back again. Luckily, Daddy Pig is there to scare them away.
Hooray!
Shoo, shoo, naughty birds, cries Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig guards the seeds until the birds have gone to bed. He is a very good scarecrow. It is 1 week later. Peppa, George, come and look, calls Daddy Pig.
The seeds have grown, says Peppa. My flowers are so pretty.
And George's plant is very tall, says Daddy Pig.
It's a beanstalk.
Cries Peppa.
It goes all the way up to a giant's castle.
Ho ho ho. No, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. It's a flower, but it does go quite high.
George's flower is taller than our house, says Peppa.
Wow!
George has grown a sunflower, explains Grandpa Pig. Sunflowers are very tall plants. Well done, George, says Grandpa Pig.
And well done, Daddy, says Peppa. You were a great scarecrow.
The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa gets a vaccination. Mummy Pig was taking Peppa to the doctor for her health check and vaccination. Are we all ready? Said Mummy Pig.
Yes, said Peppa. I've got Teddy.
And I've got your red book, added Mummy Pig.
What's that?
Asked Peppa. It's your very own book, said Mummy Pig. It helps doctors see how you're growing up.
Wow.
Hello, Peppa, said Dr. Brown Bear when they arrived. Have you come for your health check and vaccination?
Yes, said Peppa. I've brought my red book and Teddy too.
Very good, said Dr. Brown Bear. You're seeing Dr. Polar Bear today. Suddenly, a bell rang. Ah, that means she's ready to see you, explained Dr. Brown Bear. Peppa and Mummy Pig walked into the doctor's office. Hello, said Dr. Polar Bear cheerily.
Who do we have here? I'm Peppa, said Peppa, and this is Teddy. Lovely, said Dr. Polar Bear. Now, did you bring your red book?
Peppa handed her book to Dr. Polar Bear.
Excellent,
said Dr. Polar Bear.
Let's start by seeing how tall you are,
said Dr. Polar Bear. She took Peppa over to the measuring stick. Peppa stood up very straight.
Wonderfully done,
said Dr. Polar Bear.
I'm a big girl now,
Peppa said proudly.
Yes, you are,
said Dr. Polar Bear. She got out her pen and wrote Peppa's height in the red book.
Now, Peppa, can you hop on these for me, please?
Said Dr. Polar Bear, pointing to her weighing scales. Peppa stepped onto the scales.
These scales tell us how heavy you are,
said Dr. Polar Bear.
Ooh,
said Peppa.
That's good,
said Dr. Polar Bear, writing in Peppa's red book again.
Now, it's time to use a stethoscope to listen to your heart,
said Dr. Polar Bear.
What's a stethoscope?
Asked Peppa.
A stethoscope helps me hear your heartbeat.
Wow.
And the air going in and out of your lungs,
said Dr. Polar Bear.
I put this bit on your chest and listen through the earpieces. Peppa,
said Dr. Polar Bear,
would you like to listen to your heart beating? Yes, please,
cried Peppa. Dr. Polar Bear put the stethoscope earpieces on Peppa's ears.
said Peppa. It's going bumpy dump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump. Bumpy dump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump. Now it's your turn, Teddy,
said Peppa, putting the stethoscope's chest piece on Teddy's chest.
Is Teddy's heart going bumpy bump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump?
Asked Dr. Polar Bear.
No,
said Peppa.
Teddy's heart doesn't do that because Teddy is a toy.
Oh, I see, said Dr. Polar Bear, smiling. Next, Dr. Polar Bear got out her special doctor's torch.
Wow.
I'm going to look in your ears now, she said. Dr. Polar Bear shone the torch into each of Peppa's ears.
said Peppa. That tickles.
Dr. Polar Bear checked carefully inside Peppa's ears.
That all looks lovely,
she said.
Now I'll check your mouth,
said Dr. Polar Bear.
I need you to open wide and say, ah.
Dr. Polar Bear opened her mouth and showed Peppa what to do.
Like this.
Ah! Peppa opened her mouth as wide as it would go and stuck her tongue out. She yelled very loudly. Wonderful, said Dr. Polar Bear.
Do you want to check my nose?
Asked Peppa.
Thank you, Peppa,
said Dr. Polar Bear. "I can see that your nose is working very well." Everyone laughed. Dr. Polar Bear put lots of ticks in Peppa's red book. "Now, it's time for your vaccination," said Dr. Polar Bear. "Do you know why we have vaccinations, Peppa?" Peppa put her hand up. "Yes, they stop us from getting ill, and that helps the people around us too." "That's right," said Dr. Polar Bear, impressed. "Sometimes vaccinations are given as a little spray in your nose, and sometimes as a tiny pinprick in your arm." Peppa held Teddy as Dr. Polar Bear gave her the vaccination. It was very quick. "Well done, Peppa," said Dr. Polar Bear. "Would you like a sticker now?" "Oh, yes, please," squealed Peppa, jumping up. "I love stickers." "Me too," said Dr. Polar Bear, smiling. "Are there any questions you want to ask me before you go, Mummy Pig?" said Dr. Polar Bear. "No, thank you, Doctor," replied Mummy Pig. "I have a question," cried Peppa. "Have you had your vaccination, Dr. Polar Bear?" "Yes, Peppa," said Dr. Polar Bear. "Good. Then you can have a sticker too." Peppa loves getting stickers from the doctor. Everyone loves getting stickers from the doctor. The end. Peppa gives thanks. It is a lovely sunny morning. Peppa and Susie are having a tea party in the garden. "I brought my teddy to join us," says Peppa. "Did you bring your owl, Susie?" "No," says Susie. "I brought my new Mr. Super Snuggles. He's the best bear in the world." "What does he do?" Peppa asks. "He can sing," says Susie, "and say I love you, and his eyes light up." "Wow," says Peppa. "My teddy can't do any of those things." When Peppa gets home, she finds Mummy and Daddy Pig. "I would like a Mr. Super Snuggles, please," she says. "But you have a teddy bear, Peppa," says Mummy Pig. "My teddy is boring," Peppa snorts. "He can't sing or talk, and his eyes don't light up." "Ho, ho, ho," Daddy Pig laughs. "Come, Peppa, let me show you something." Daddy Pig shows Peppa a photo album. There are lots of pictures inside. "This is when we went camping, Peppa, and to the beach, and on a hot air balloon ride. And who is in all the pictures with you?" asked Daddy Pig. "My teddy," cries Peppa. "Right," says Daddy Pig. "You've had Teddy ever since you were a little piggy. That makes him very special. We have to be thankful for the things that we have," says Mummy Pig. "What's thankful?" asked Peppa. "It means we're happy for the wonderful things in our lives," said Mummy Pig. "What are you thankful for, Peppa?" Peppa thinks. "My toys." She runs upstairs. Her room is filled with lots of lovely toys. "What else?" asks Mummy Pig. "Our house," cries Peppa. "I love our house and our car and our garden." Ho ho, laughs Daddy Pig. Anything else? Peppa thinks. I know something I'm thankful for, says Mammy Pig. What? asks Peppa. You and George and Daddy Pig, of course, says Mummy Pig. Peppa giggles. I'm thankful for that too. And I'm thankful for Susie Sheep and all my friends, says Peppa. And Granny and Grandpa Pig. Let's call Granny and Grandpa Pig right now, says Mummy Pig. We can invite them to a special dinner. Later that day, Granny and Grandpa Pig arrive. Mummy and Daddy Pig make a delicious dinner for everyone. Peppa and George help set the table. This looks wonderful, says Granny Pig. Thank you for inviting us over. Peppa, would you like to tell Granny and Grandpa what you learned today? asked Daddy Pig. Yes, says Peppa. I learned that I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my toys and our house and my friends. How lovely, says Granny Pig. But most of all, I'm thankful for my family, says Peppa. And my teddy. Peppa loves being thankful. Everyone loves being thankful. Especially when there's so much to be thankful for. The end. Peppa goes to hospital. Today, we are going to visit Pedro Pony in hospital, Madame Gazelle tells the class. Pedro's leg is broken and the doctors are mending it. Peppa has never been to the hospital before. Except when I was born, of course, Peppa says. I'm wearing my nurse's outfit, Susie Sheep says, because hospitals are very serious. But when the class arrives on the children's ward, the walls are full of colour. Ooh, they all say as they set off to find Pedro. Pedro is in bed with his leg in a plaster cast. Does it hurt? Zoe Zebra asks. It did at first, Pedro says, but not anymore. Do you want to draw on it? What's it like being in hospital? asks Peppa. It's great, replies Pedro. Nurse gives me stickers and comes whenever I press this button. Another nurse comes over with a trolley. Lunchtime, she says. Spaghetti and sponge pudding, please, says Pedro. Wow, you get to eat in bed, gasps Peppa. Dr. Brown Bear visits Pedro. You're nearly better and ready to go home. The bell rings. Visiting time has ended. Get well soon, wave the children. A few days later, Pedro is back. Where is your plaster cast? ask his friends. My leg is all better. It's a super leg now, Pedro says. Thank you for visiting me in hospital. The end. Peppa's Australian Underwater Adventure. Peppa was very excited. She had just won a Great Barrier Reef art competition at the Aquarium. "Congrats, Peppa," said Miss Rabbit. "Your prize is to join me on a marine biology trip to Australia."
Wow.
"Hooray!" cheered Peppa. "What's marine biology?" "It's learning about the plants and animals that live in the sea," explained Miss Rabbit. "Ooh," said Peppa. "We're going to stay with Mrs. Kangaroo," continued Miss Rabbit. "She will teach us how to scuba dive in the Great Barrier Reef." "What an amazing prize for a competition," said Mummy Pig, a bit surprised. "Well, Peppa's drawing was very imaginative," said Miss Rabbit. "Her picture wasn't exactly like any fish I have ever seen, but it was a prize-winning picture." "I see," said Mummy Pig. "There's nothing wrong with a bit of imagination, is there?" "Of course, you, Daddy Pig and George will be coming to Australia too," Miss Rabbit told Mummy Pig. "How lovely," replied Mummy Pig. "Thank you, Mrs. Rabbit." Peppa and her family are very excited to be seeing their friends in Australia again.
Hooray!
"We'll be leaving first thing tomorrow," said Miss Rabbit. "Right then," said Mummy Pig. "We'd better head to the shops and get everything we need for the trip." Peppa, George, Mammy and Daddy Pig headed to Mr. Fox's shop and told him what they needed. Mr. Fox got everything out. "Now," he said, "I think you'll also need some paper and colouring pens. You never know when they might come in handy." "I'm not sure we do," began Mummy Pig. "Trust me, Mummy Pig," Mr. Fox interrupted. "You'll definitely need these." "Oh, okay then," said Mummy Pig. "Thank you for your help, Mr. Fox. We must get going now so we can pack all of this." The next morning, Peppa and her family woke up very early and hopped on the aeroplane to Australia. "Where's Miss Rabbit?" asked Daddy Pig. "I think she's finding her own way there," replied Mummy Pig. While Peppa, George, Mammy and Daddy Pig flew on an aeroplane, Miss Rabbit travelled to Australia by hot air balloon, helicopter, and boat. Ahoy there! Amazingly, Miss Rabbit arrived in Australia at the exact same time as Peppa and her family. "Welcome to Australia, everyone," said Miss Kangaroo. "It's so good to see you," said Kylie Kangaroo, giving Peppa a big hug. After they were settled in, Mrs. Kangaroo went through the diving plan with Kylie, Peppa and Miss Rabbit. "There are so many amazing creatures to discover in the Great Barrier Reef," she explained. "It's an incredible place." Mrs. Kangaroo taught Peppa about diving and marine biology.
Wow.
"What does buddy up mean?" asked Peppa. "It means we are going to dive in a group," explained Miss Kangaroo. She held up a list of creatures they were going to see and count on their underwater adventure. Green sea turtles, orange clownfish, blue starfish, pink sea anemones, and even whales. "Wow!" gasped Peppa. She was so excited. Mrs. Kangaroo drove everyone to the boat. Then they hopped on board with their diving gear and headed out to the diving site. When the boat stopped, Mrs. Kangaroo gave Peppa and Kylie a special underwater list each. It's important that we count the marine life carefully, she said. If you spot anything unusual, let me know. Then Peppa, Miss Rabbit, Kylie and Mrs. Kangaroo jumped backwards off the boat. They dived deep down under the water to the reef. The divers saw lots of amazing plants and animals on the reef. They spotted 5 orange clownfish, 4 pink sea anemones, 3 brilliant blue starfish, 2 big green turtles, and 1 enormous whale.
Wow, said Peppa. It's so colourful down here.
Peppa and Miss Rabbit followed the whale further into the reef. Peppa used her diving fins to swim as fast as she could to keep up, and Miss Rabbit paddled along behind her. The whale pointed its fin at a big rock. Peppa peered behind the rock and saw a fish that wasn't on Mrs. Kangaroo's list, poking its head out.
That looks just like the fish I coloured in,
said Peppa. At the end of the dive, everyone climbed back on board the boat.
We counted so many creatures,
said Peppa excitedly.
It was amazing. I also spotted a beautiful fish that wasn't on your list, Miss Kangaroo. What did it look like, Peppa?
asked Kylie.
It looked a bit like a clownfish, said Peppa, but not exactly.
Said Mrs. Kangaroo. Can you describe it a bit more, Peppa? Peppa used the colouring pens from Mr. Fox's shop to draw the fish she had seen. It looked just like her picture from the aquarium.
Wow, that's a lovely fish, Peppa,
said Kylie. Peppa is very good at drawing, said Miss Rabbit. I don't believe it, gasped Mrs. Kangaroo when she saw Peppa's drawing. It looks just like a rare blue clownfish.
Wow.
That hasn't been seen for a while now. Where did you spot it, Peppa? Peppa took everyone back to where she had seen the unusual fish. Mrs. Kangaroo had been searching for the blue clownfish for a long time. Peppa spotted the whale winking at her in the distance.
Thank you for showing us the fish, lovely whale,
Peppa said, winking back. After Mrs. Kangaroo had taken lots of photographs of the fish, she signalled for everyone to swim up to the boat and head back to the shore. That afternoon, Mrs. Kangaroo and her family cooked a big meal to celebrate Peppa's amazing discovery. What do you think of the Great Barrier Reef, Peppa? Asked Daddy Pig.
It's the most brilliant place ever, replied Peppa. The fish are just like I imagined they would be.
She held up her picture from the art competition. It looked exactly like the fish she had seen on her dive. Everyone laughed. Peppa loves the beautiful Great Barrier Reef. Everyone loves the beautiful Great Barrier Reef. The end. Peppa Pig, Rebecca Rabbit. This is Peppa's friend, Rebecca Rabbit. Rebecca is very good at swimming.
Paddle your arms,
says Rebecca.
and kick your legs,
says Peppa. Rebecca's house is called a burrow. It is underground.
Where are your stairs?
asked Peppa.
We don't have stairs, says Rebecca. We have tunnels instead.
Wow.
Rebecca has a big family. There's her mummy, her daddy, and her little brother Richard.
And here are the baby twins,
Says Rebecca.
Peppa nods. Hello, Robbie and Rosie.
Rebecca and Peppa go to the petting farm together. They like to stroke the tiny animals.
Look at their cute little faces,
Cries Rebecca.
and their fluffy little bodies,
Says Peppa. Peppa has lots of fun with her friend Rebecca. Sometimes she pretends to be a rabbit too. All she has to do is twitch her nose and squeak. Peppa loves Rebecca Rabbit. Everyone loves Rebecca Rabbit. The end. First words with Peppa Pig, Level 3. Mummy Pig's birthday. Meet Peppa, George, Grandpa Pig, Granny Pig, Daddy Pig, and Mummy Pig. Learn. Any, could, give, her, just, may, open, take, thank, then. Read. Birthday, balloon, candles, cake, gift. It was Mummy Pig's birthday.
We want to give you a card to open. Take a look,
Said Peppa and George. Thank you, said Mummy Pig. You cannot open any gifts just yet. You will have to wait, said Daddy Pig. I could take a peek now, said Mummy Pig.
No, not just yet,
Said Peppa. Daddy Pig had made a birthday cake for Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig must not see her cake just yet, said Daddy Pig.
No, we can not give her cake or any gifts just yet,
said Peppa. Just then Mummy Pig opened the door. May I come in? Said Mummy Pig. Not just yet, said Daddy Pig. Then Daddy Pig and Peppa did lots of balloons to give Mummy Pig. It was hard work. I cannot do the balloons any longer, said Daddy Pig. You may come in now, said Daddy Pig. Mummy Pig came in and saw her cake and her gift.
Wow.
They look just perfect, thank you, said Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig put out the candles and made a wish. I wish that Daddy Pig could take me out for dinner, just the two of us, said Mummy Pig.
Now we can give Mummy her gift,
Said Peppa. What could it be? May I open it? Said Mummy Pig.
Just rip it open,
Said Peppa. Mummy Pig opened her gift. It was a new dress. Thank you. It is the best gift you could give me, said Mummy Pig.
Wow.
You could put on the dress now,
Said Peppa. Mummy Pig put on her new dress.
Wow.
Do you have any plans? Said Daddy Pig. I do not have any plans, said Mummy Pig. Then may I take you out for dinner, just the two of us? Asked Daddy Pig. You may take me out, Daddy Pig. That is the best gift you could give me. Thank you, said Mummy Pig.
We could look after Pepper and George, and then you could go out,
said Granny Pig. Thank you for my birthday. It was just perfect, said Mummy Pig. The end. Peppa Pig, where's George's dinosaur? George can't find Mr. Dinosaur anywhere. There's something spiky in your den, says Mummy Pig. Is that him?
Dinosaur!
Roars George. Peppa and George peek inside the den.
Oh, it's just a helmet,
Peppa sighs.
Where's George's dinosaur?
Says Mummy Pig. Where have we been today?
The zoo,
says Peppa. Mummy Pig takes Peppa and George back to the zoo. George spots a long tail behind some rocks.
Wow.
Dinosaur!
Roars George. Peppa and George look behind the rocks.
Oh, it's just Mrs. Crocodile,
Peppa sighs.
Where's George's dinosaur?
Where did we go after the zoo? Asked Mummy Pig.
Choo-choo!
Cries George. The train, that's right, George, says Mummy Pig. At the train station, George spies something green inside the train.
Wow.
Dinosaur!
Roars George. Peppa and George open the train door.
Oh, it's just a balloon.
Peppa sighs.
Where's George's dinosaur?
Now, where did the train take us today? Asked Mummy Pig.
The castle!
Gasped Peppa.
George's dinosaur must be there.
When they arrive at the castle, George sees some sharp teeth.
Wow.
Dinosaur!
Roars George. Peppa and George open the castle door.
Oh, it's just a dragon.
Peppa sighs.
Where's George's dinosaur?
I don't think we'll find him today, George, says Mummy Pig sadly. It's time to go home now.
Oh no!
As George gets ready for bed, he starts to cry. Don't worry, George, says Mummy Pig. We'll find Mr. Dinosaur tomorrow. She pulls back George's covers.
He was hiding in your bed all along, George,
cries Peppa. Phew, says Mummy Pig. Night-night, George. Night-night, Mr. Dinosaur. George loves his dinosaur. Everyone loves George's dinosaur. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.